Welcome to Panels and Prose. I wanted to share a few images from the great Fred Harman. He's best known for his many years working on the Red Ryder Western strip, but before that, did a short run series called Broc Peeler. In that strip, he did this weekly on the range image, which was really a deliberate landscape from the West, and it really showed Harman's wonderful appreciation of the frontier and all of the various imagery that would go into eventually go into Red Rider. But these are gorgeous images on their own, but they also say a great deal, I think, about the ways in which some comic strip artists really were seeing their own work as a kind of landscape that they were bringing into the daily newspaper. It's something I've been writing about at the site lately, but here's a good example of someone who clearly was steeped in Frederick Remington, but was bringing it to bear on common life and everyday life in the same way that all comic strips were. I mean, here, for instance, he's showing Native American folkways. And it reminds us that there were a number of comic strips during the 1930s that took up the Native American life and looked at it in rather sympathetic and understanding ways to better understand the ways in which this folk culture was very different from the settlers' culture that pushed them out. But then also just some of the evocative stylings here, wonderful. I think it's a great example of the ways in which some artists were really bringing a deep aesthetic understanding of the world they were trying to convey in the newspaper pages. And in this case, is very explicit that he's trying to use some of the sensibilities of the great American landscape artists in the comic strip. But as I write about this week in Panels and Prose, if you go to the site, you'll see a longer contemplation on the ways in which American comic strip artists really can be seen in a larger tradition of American realist art in a lot of different respects. But I think that Fred Harman is probably one of the best examples.